So today I thought I would film a tutorial on how to do a needle scale or a scorpion, I think it's called. And it's just going to be a series of different exercises. You can kind of follow along. Normally when I do a follow along I suggest like doing maybe more reps and sets than I do. I just kind of do it so you guys know the exercise and roughly, you know, the technique and how many sets to it and stuff. But I hope you enjoy the video. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy it. And let's get on with some needle training. First exercise we're going to start with is shoulder swings going backwards. So I'm suggesting 5 to 10 of these. But a needle scale involves quite a lot of shoulder mobility, so you need to make sure you're working on this. Then I'm going to bring the arms up and just do little pulses going backwards, so keep a nice straight body position and just 10 little pulses going backwards. Next we're moving on to the chair, again stretching out the shoulders, so placing the hands on the chair, and you can do some light bounces down to the ground if you want to, or you can just do a static hold. As you're holding, try and get a little bit lower down to the ground. And I'd suggest holding 15 to 30 seconds. Then we're going to come out of that position and go into cat-cows. Obviously a needle really does involve back mobility because you're bringing the leg all the way, basically I guess to touch your back. So we're doing cat-cows and then just little circular motions just to warm up the back. And then we're going to get into a seal position, so hands by the chest, pressing up, driving the chest back. We're just going to do 10 and then lowering the body down to the ground. Again, you can do a static hold on the last one if you want to. Make sure you're engaging the glutes in this position, not completely relaxing the back. And just aiming to drive that chest as far back as you can. And then we're just going to come into child's pose, sitting down on the heels. We're going to continue to warm up the back, so we're going to come into a bridge position. And when we're in our bridge, we're just going to do rocks. So we're going to bend the legs and then drive the armpits back to the wall behind us. Again, trying to increase that range of motion with each repetition. And you want to be doing about 3 to 5 repetitions of those. You can do a couple of sets if you want to. Now we're going to move into our lunges. Obviously a needle scale requires a lot of leg mobility and splits. So I always start with lunges before splits. And I'm going to do a deep lunge where the elbows are dropping down to the ground just to get a bit more of a stretch, trying to push that back quad down to the ground, and then coming into the reverse lunge, flexing the foot, back into a forwards lunge and resting the elbows on the ground for more of a stretch. Then we're just going to slide into splits. Obviously if you can't do a split then you're not going to be able to do the needle, so there are quite a few elements that are required to be able to perform that needle scale. So I'm just doing a split lean forward. We're going to continue to warm the back up, so we're just going to come against the wall, and a bit like the seal position on the ground, we're just driving the chest down and trying to get a bit more mobility in the lumbar spine. As we come up, again we're squeezing the glutes, having a nice posterior pelvic tilt just to make sure we don't get injured. And then I'm doing a chest roll. This is optional if you can do them. I find it really helps with back mobility, especially when I'm doing a split lean back. So I do like to do them, but again, you don't have to do this exercise. And then coming into a child's pose again. Now I'm just going to go back into seals, trying to increase that range of motion again. And I'm just going to do like 2 repetitions of those before going back into a split position. And this time we're going to do the splits lean back. So again, you need to be able to do a full lean back if you want to do a proper needle scale. and then I'm reaching the hands back as if I was actually in that needle scale. Now we're going to come against the wall and do a split position. Again, just focusing on increasing that range of motion in the legs. And just doing gentle pulses into the wall. And then we're going to lift the chest up and try and balance for a couple of seconds. I was suggesting about 3 repetitions of these. You can do a couple of sets if you want to. It's going to also help increase back strength. And now we're going to move into a needle, but with the chair for support. So grabbing the back foot up, getting into that split position, just warming up to begin with, and then going into the full needle scale. I'm just using one hand for this, as I'm using the other hand to support me, well, basically my balance. As you can see, the leg is coming all the way to the head, and it's getting into a proper needle position. Again, try and do about 3 to 5 repetitions. And then finally we're going to move on to the needle scale on the floor. So using both hands, grabbing the foot and fully extending the leg, trying to find that balance, which I did not on that repetition. Lastly, I'm just going to go into an overstretch. This is because I want an overstretched needle, so obviously it's beneficial to do a couple of overstretching split positions. And then lastly, we're going to go into the full needle scale again. Grabbing the foot, bring the other hand back, and then pressing into that full needle scale and holding. I hope you enjoyed that video. Maybe you will give a needle scale a go, but make sure you are super flexible if you're doing it. Otherwise, I would suggest doing a more beginner style, like flexibility contortion workout, because obviously a needle scale or a scorpion is very advanced. Anyway, I will see you for my next video. I'm also filming today a full day of eating, so that might be my next video, I don't know. But I hope you guys have a lovely day, and yeah, bye!